Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Rochelle. I am a freelance editor and writer and multi-hyphenate, I guess, ADHDer who has been tracking my progress toward a bunch of different goals using the 12-week year system in Notion. This week we finished week 11 and I can't believe how quickly things have gone, but also how long ago the first week of this seems. We're going to go ahead and do our weekly check-in here in my Notion template. This template is available in my Notion Marketplace if you like how it looks, if you want to give it a try. By the end of next week, we'll be setting up for our next 12-week year. So stay tuned for a build with me and follow along with the new setting up of goals using this system. So let's go ahead and look at this now. I'm struggling to do these on Sundays, so I have to go ahead and change my filter to filter created time is last week. Now we can go ahead and look at what I did over the last week. My first goal for this 12-week year was to complete a 45-minute vinyasa with no modifications as part of wrist recovery after an injury that I got. My second was to get 500 subscribers and 1,500 watch hours on YouTube. And finally, I wanted to workshop the musical I've been writing, Going Viral 101. If you have been around, then this isn't news to you, but this goal and this goal are technically complete, although I do have some updates on both of those in terms of moving beyond the goal that I created for the year and for this quarter into the bigger goals that are associated with those. And you can take a look down below pretty easily to see that this one isn't going as well, but I still love to check in with what's going on. And the goal here is supposed to be hitting 85%. Let me take a look here and say, so I did 2 of my 3 yoga classes or yoga attempts that I wanted to, although we'll get into one of those being a little different in a minute. I've not been tracking my wrist rehab as much, and I think it's about time to let it go, but I have one more week left, so I may as well just let it finish out the week. But I have in each of these templates, it automatically comes with questions to answer that I always start answering before I open the questions because that's how ADHD works sometimes. Anyway, what's going well? The progress that I'm making on my musical has been going really, really well. And I have big news regarding this goal that I'm excited to share. But in terms of consistency, I do feel like I'm falling off a little bit. I was a little bit slow. I didn't get videos recorded. I was caught up in a bunch of things. I haven't even gone through and planned videos, which I need to do moving into my next 12-week year. If I am going to stay with YouTube as one of my goals, I need to figure out what I'm going to be recording for that. So I'm a little bit behind here, which answers my second question about what's not going as well. This isn't going as well. Feeling on top of things is never going well, I feel like, with ADHD. Nothing ever feels like it's done or tracked or anything. That's just, I think, part of living with a brain like mine. But I have 1 week left, so I'm going to not change anything, but I'm going to take all of this into consideration as I journal, both handwritten journal and in a new 12-week year, about what I want my next 12-week year to look like. At this point, I do feel like this 12-week year is in a lot of ways written off, not because I failed, but because I succeeded, and I succeeded well enough that I'm kind of biding my time. And I'm curious if this happens in the future where I've hit much of my goals before the 12 weeks is over, do I just stop them at week 10 and do a new 12-week year that isn't aligned with the quarters? Or I don't know. I'm terrible at not being productive and actually taking time off. So we'll see. But anyway, looking at my specific goals, let's go ahead and start with my musical. I am really excited about this because even though I hit exactly 100%, I didn't work on it over the weekend. I needed a break. I finished Since I Shared Your Life entirely. This one took me 2 weeks. Clearly, it took me 13 days to get it from the first notation to the final notation in this one. And I am so, so, so excited that it is done because this one was a slog, but I'm so proud of how it turned out. And a lot of the work that I've been doing earlier on has been paying off because I have found that I can reuse motifs and that sort of thing. And it's really exciting how they work together and make that song even stronger, I think, in my mind. And I started this one. I'm actually really close to finishing it as well, but not all the way done. So it took me just one day to notate all of the the melody, and now I've been working on the notation for the piano accompaniment for now. I'm not in charge of the instrumentation. Thank goodness. That's not really my strong point. But this one is almost done as well. And then I get to start. I could go back and work on Make Ends Meet. I got some help on it from my instructor on the place that I was stuck. So I could go back and finish this. I could send the ones I have off to my collaborator. Maybe look at Take Off Land, which is mostly the two characters that I'm working on right now, or go through and probably, oh yeah, not Catholic enough. This one shouldn't take me very long. I have a version of it, but I'm a little bit better at notating than I was when I started, so I might have some changes. But once those are done, I've actually finished the duets and main songs for one of the two storylines, which is really exciting if we don't count this little guy. One of my characters will sing it, but it's going to be diegetic to the musical. Like, she's singing it as a singer, and I haven't actually decided what genre she sings in. I'm trying to balance what I want her to be with something that, if this ever gets performed, is sustainable over multiple performances. Because if I got my way, she'd be Hayley Williams and like into the pop punk, but that seems like it would be a big strain on your voice over and over again. So probably not that. So yeah, I've got some decisions to make, but it's going really well, and I'm happy to have done a song and a half this week. It's great. The reason I'm so excited about this goal this week is because the long term goal, is to get back to gymnastics. And I went. I went to a gymnastics class on Thursday. I still can't do a handstand. Like, if we go down here, handstand is not a thing, but gymnastics class happened. I went to a gymnastics class. I was able to go back to doing back tucks and aerials. I swung on the bars. I came to the top of the bar and like put support on my wrist without any pain. I tried a kip, didn't make it, but tried one without any pain. And I've been working toward a crow pose. I can just about do it now too. I think that's going to be my focus in my last week, is trying to get to crow pose and then do handstand really in the more yoga way, where you build your way up to it slowly, which is just not a thing in gymnastics. If you know, you know, right? Like, gymnastics is like, do a handstand as part of your warm up, and yoga is like, this is a hard skill. Let's take our time and work up to this over multiple years. It's very different. So I did have to modify gymnastics class. I had to skip what's called basics, where they work on forward rolls and handstands and cartwheels. And I do my basics on the beam, where it's all balance and posture and that kind of thing instead, and what I call wristless gymnastics. But I was able to do a little bit of work, even doing some of my yoga work and putting weight on my hands in a really like controlled and safe way. And gymnastic class was a big goal of mine, and I'm so excited that I did it. And finally, we'll check in with YouTube. And I'm super excited. I'm behind on filming again because I can't seem to keep ahead on filming, which tells me, I guess, something about the priority here. I enjoy it, but I don't stay ahead of it. So this is my next one. I wrote a script for it, actually. But I haven't filmed it yet, and I should. And I need to get that up by Thursday still. I haven't yet missed a Thursday, which is exciting. So I need this film tomorrow. But that is next, is talking about the power of adjectives. This week, we'll go ahead and go over to my stats in YouTube. I got 1 watch hour that's being tracked so far, but I also have 3 new subscribers for the second week in a row, which is really exciting. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here. I hope you enjoy my content. If there's a specific writing topic you'd like me to dive into, or a notion, or whatever it is, let me know in the comments so that I can make sure that I'm creating content that you find valuable, because that's why I'm here. It's not worth it if you don't find it valuable. I am really, really hoping, and it probably won't happen, but it would be really cool to hit 365 watch hours by the end of next week, just because knowing that I've, over the course of a year, even though the vast majority of it happened in one day, knowing that on average people have spent an hour a day watching my content would be really, really cool. So yeah, that's where I'm at with my goals. I do want to create some kind of review of my 12-week year based on this. I should figure out how I want to do that and add it to my template. But in the meantime, this is my second to last one. I'm almost done. Let me know in the comments if you are also working through a 12-week year and how that's going, and I will see you soon.